Red is on the beat.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy them big old cans, baby.
You want to know what's crazy?
That's how we starting tonight. Okay.
I actually thought he was just really close to the camera there for a second. I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
Pete.
I really did. I thought it was you for a second.
What's up, Chad? How's it doing? Fellow Scott Wright, Medina, Cruise Control, Macho King in the house. You know how it is, the randomness. The tres amigos.
Oh, where the amigos?
Oh yeah. No, I love it. That's a good way to start. It's a callback to the last time we were all on here together. So
Kev, can we get a I can't believe it?
oh no.
I can't believe it. Qué palo ha dado este muchacho.
I just want y'all to know they've been torturing me here, man. The waiting room. I heard the I can't believe it call at least 3 or 4 times, man. They messed up, man.
I love it. I love it, by the way. Shout out to one of the best calls of all time. Right
Franklin
there.
Mirabal.
There he is. He deserves a shout out, man. That is unbelievable.
I can't believe it. Se fue viral. He went viral.
He did.
That call.
Oh, he did.
Run.
I wish he was going viral for a different call, man, but
damn.
It isn't what
damn.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Licey no campeón.
Adios, as they would say.
Next year, though. Next year.
Man, we have a packed show today. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
I mean, we have a lot to talk about, man. I just before I even say anything, I just want to say this real quickly. I mean, I don't know if I can speak for you guys on this, but I know my comments today, are probably going to be taken as, oh my God, negative, and the season hasn't begun yet, and it'd be a negative. I believe the Yankees have a good roster going into the year. I've been very, very supportive of the current team that is constructed. A lot of the moves are moves that I asked for. They did them. So I'm excited for what the team is going to be. But I can't be excited about some of these comments from Hal Steinbrenner. We definitely got to talk about it. So I just wanted to throw it out there before anybody goes, he said this and there'd be a negative. No. It has nothing to do with the current structure of the team. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I like this club. So, but these comments, they kind of make me scratch my head a little bit.
Don't fuck with me, Al. Don't make a fuck out of me.
That's exactly.
I haven't used that one in a while.
I haven't heard that one in a while. I like that he started with kind of a disclaimer though, because I feel like that's good. That's definitely. Oh yeah, Rob. That's a Victus hat that Pete has on. It's pretty dope.
Yes,
right?
sir.
But I also want to start with a disclaimer because
Bryce Harper's favorite too, by the way.
It's a dope fucking hat.
That's how he looks right now.
But I'll definitely start
like
with
me.
with disclaimer.
No, like that skeleton.
I like our team. I like our team.
You don't love it.
I don't love it.
Agreed.
And there's some of the comments that he made that I really don't love. When we really dig into like his comments and even with some of the stuff, you heard from Boone on the Fan, it's like, yeah, man, it's probably this is gonna be one of. That's why I tweeted that out earlier.
I forgot about that.
I feel like this episode is gonna be one of them ones because I know I feel like I think it's positive for us, but it might be one of those annoying things where people clip and try to take things out of context. I don't care though. We gotta call.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't.
We
gotta be on it.
Yeah,
but Kev. How we doing
so with me, we're gonna go into a little bit in depth with the comments. I'm not just gonna give a disclaimer. I have no filter. I've been that way for a long time. It's just that I think that sometimes Hal tries to do good and he puts his foot in his mouth a little bit at times because it's like you can't tell us like other teams can't do what the Dodgers are doing. No, there's a handful of teams that could do it. We're not asking for Hal to go to 380, but you're gonna let $5 million, $10 million get away from you having a solid third base option or second base option.
Yep.
That's what you're telling me, and another lefty reliever. That really they're at 298 to 300. So an extra $10 million is really gonna break the bank.
It's not.
That's my issue.
I could I could play the clip if you guys want, so we can hear some of it from Hal first.
I would love to do that.
Let's do that. Let's do that so we can at least react
in parts,
to it.
Right?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, the first one is kind of long, but I'll play it from where it is, and we could pause and talk about it from there. But I definitely want everybody to kind of hear that first, because a lot of what I've said this offseason still remains true. Because I know there's probably going to be some, but Pete, you've been sticking up for him. Okay, yeah, but hold on. Wait a second. You're going to hear what I got to say.
Two things can
Let's
be
go
true.
ahead and, exactly. Let's go ahead and cut the Hal real quick.
We're excited about him. I mean, we did a lot of hard work in December and into January. And, you know, some people may disagree with me, but some people will agree with me. I think we have a better team right now than we did a year ago today.
You mentioned that hard work. You guys
I want to pause right there real quick around the room.
Thank you.
Yes or no? Kev, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I can't. Right off rip, I can't, because you got to play the games. We'll be able to tell a year from now if it truly is. But right now, I'm sorry. It's hard for you to replace a guy like Juan Soto. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it's a good team. It's a better team than last year. Just because it's a well-rounded team doesn't mean it's going to win more games, as dumb as that may sound, if you don't understand what I'm talking about. Because
I feel you.
Listen, we this team could be pitch lights out, but we might be losing games 2-0 if this team doesn't hit. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So true. I can't agree. I don't agree with Hal. I don't think it's a better team.
Francis?
This is, and that's why I'm glad you stopped there, because that quote is, there's, I think, 20 quotes like that from this interview, where it's like he says something with a little truth in it, but it's not completely true. And that's what angers me as a fan, because we're not stupid. Like the team saying it's a better team than last year. There are aspects of this team that are far and away better than last year. But to say overall blanket statement, it's a better team, period, full stop, I don't think you can say that. Is it a better team defensively? Yes. I don't think you could.
There's aspects, yeah.
Like, right? Defensively, I can't argue that, right? The rotation, are you going in with a better 5-man rotation on opening day? Yes.
Yeah.
Bullpen on paper, is it a better bullpen on paper? Yes. You don't have a lefty in it though right now, so it's unbalanced. On paper, in terms of talent, arm talent in the bullpen, it should be better. But we saw what that bullpen did last year with less, big names on paper. Versus this year, we got some more names, but like we don't know, and it's still not really that balanced because we don't even have a lefty in there. So it's like, I don't know that I can say that fully yet, and I'm not even saying, I gotta see the games. I'm just saying, like, even just looking at the names on the paper, I don't know if I can come out and just say, like overall they're better than last year. We've been saying on DS and All Rise, like it feels like they could be better than last year.
Yeah.
With more things done. But
I think there's I agree. I think I've chosen to be a little more positive about this club and kind of live on the optimistic side of things, because I want to get back to the postseason, deep into the postseason, because it was so fun calling those games. But I can also see where somebody looks at this club and goes, damn, I mean, if that goes wrong, then we're kind of, that's tough. I mean, but you could do that with any team, but I could still see where the red flags are. There's a lot of, is this guy going to progress? Is this guy going to bounce back? There's a lot of that, especially on the offense. So I think, I'll leave it at that when it comes to Hal. I'm not going to say they're a much better team. They've improved in certain areas. I think that's the fair way to say it.
yes.
tried to sign Soto. You went up to a price point of $760 million, reportedly. Were you surprised that he wound up going to the Mets when you put that type of offer on the table?
I wouldn't say surprised, but I mean, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, Juan's got a big family. They were all very involved. So there were a lot of different voices in his ear talking to him and giving him advice. And I really just didn't know. So I wouldn't say I wasn't surprised. I was certainly disappointed.
Do you feel like the roster is, in fact, better, that you were able to spread some of that money around on some different players, whether it be pitching or some help in the infield and outfield?
Yeah, I think our starting rotation's better. I think our defense is better. And I think, Bellinger and Goldschmidt, I think they're going to make up for, a good deal of Juan's offense, his bat.
You mentioned those.
That's a good point to stop. Good. Yep.
Kev, I want to start with you on this one. Do you have okay, so I guess the way to pose this question is Juan Soto's almost a given. As long as he's not hurt, the guy's going to put up numbers. Are you as confident as Hal is that Cody and Goldie are going to do that?
I'm not as confident, but I can see where if Goldie hits anywhere of 20 home runs and Cody gives you 15, that's 35. Normally, that's where Soto is, 35, 40.
Right.
Home run wise, RBIs, I think it's all subjective on depending on how well the team gets on base. I mean, it's hard to say there, but I can see where he means that. My issue is that we still don't know. I hope that Goldie has a bounce back year where he's slightly better than what he was last year.
Right.
Or even if he was what he was last year, around 100 OPS plus, that means he's an average. That's still an upgrade to what Rizzo gave us. But we don't know that. What we do know is that Juan Soto's going to hit 35 home runs and probably give people 100 RBI. We don't, as much as he won an MVP 2 years ago. We said the same shit about Josh Donaldson. Let's not do that shit again.
It doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter.
I do I have more faith in Goldie than Donaldson at the time? For some reason, I do. I don't know why. Maybe because Goldschmidt is a way better all around hitter than Josh was. But Cody, you just never know. And the reason I didn't want Bellinger here because when he's bad, he's been really bad. Talking about hitting 210, 215.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case because we know how. Not saying he's Joey Gallo because he doesn't strike out not even half as much,
Right.
but we've seen how the city can chew people up and spit them out. So I'm hoping Cody just plays the same way he's been playing for the last couple of years.
No doubt. We got a super chat in from DJ Stelio, who's quickly getting ahead of time here, talking about the lockout, which I think is going to be a lockout. I think we all agree. I don't know what the over-under on canceled games will be, but I think if you want to put it on percentages, I think there's a very, very high chance that we will be facing a lockout again because there's just too much shit going on with baseball right now. But that's for another time and day, going forward. But Francis, your thoughts on the comments of Cody and Goldie?
Cody and Goldie.
Yeah. I gotta tell when he says that's where he lost me. Because he started those comments saying that the pitching is better, the defense is better. I agree with both of those things. I don't know how you can say that the offense is this. He didn't say the offense was better, but he tried to allude to his belief that the offense is the same. And it's just not true. Right. It's just not true. Juan Soto was a 7.9 WAR player last year. 7.9. That's damn near 8 wins above replacement. And I know that we're like almost numb to that because Judge does that in his sleep. Like it's nothing, but that is not normal. That is ridiculous. That's generational. It's generational. You saying that Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt can replace that when collectively combined last year they were 3.4 is
3.5.
If you add Belly's
it's not much better.
If you add Belly's 2.2 and Goldschmidt's 1.3, they were 3.5. What does that tell you? That tells you that Juan Soto was better than twice of them. He was 2 times better than both of them combined.
Yeah.
Like we can't I don't get you making a statement like that with nothing to back it up. I mean, if this was Goldschmidt 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. If this was Cody 4 years ago, maybe. But it's 2025.
Yeah.
Not 2019. I made the joke when they acquired these guys. I was like, bro, if this was 2018, I'd be over the moon about this team. These names on the Yankees, if it was 2018, yeah, but it's 7 years after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to sit there and say, oh, they'll replace 22's production, I'm like, how? That seems a little, I don't know if I want to use the word overzealous or ignorant or whatever, but it's just like in my mind, it's like you don't really believe that. There's no way you really believe that. There's no way you've been around baseball this long and you think that.
Well, here's what it is. It's the same bullshit from Hal Steinbrenner. What it is what you heard the entire interview. It seems like a guy who doesn't know baseball. And I'm just being honest. This is the same guy that said the biggest issue with the club last year was the bump more. This is the same guy. He gets put on the spot. It's like, Hal, what are you talking about? So here's the problem with Hal, and I would love to give him a crash course on this of answering some questions. Here's the right way to go about that. Well, we feel defensively we're better. We feel pitching-wise we're better. Everybody's going to agree to that. Juan Soto's a Met. Leave him with the Mets. Leave him with the Mets. Here's what you should have said. We feel that production in the outfield at one position and at first base was some of the worst in the league last year. That is now facts. We feel we've added 2 players that are going to perform well above that. So with that being said, we do feel there's a strong chance this offense could be very good. That's it. Leave it alone. You don't have to go about Soto. You don't got to talk about Soto. You don't even got to put the expectation on your 2 new guys that they got to make up for Juan Soto's production. At the end of the day, all they got to make up for is 2 guys that are missing. Whether you feel that's Dominguez making up for Verdugo's, whoever it is. But first base specifically is a position of power. It's a position of power. You're getting a guy who can fill that spot, potentially at 25 plus with the Yankees, from a team last year that got nothing of production at first base. That's the way that should have been answered. Don't get fans' expectations that, well, guess what, Cody and them, I think combined, I think they could do. Well, first of all, as Francis said, Juan Soto's one player. He's one player. You don't look to lose a player and go, well, if I get 2 or 3 guys to make up that production, that's not how it works. That's taking up 3 spots in a roster compared to 1 player's production. It doesn't work that way. So again, that is just the Yankees again doing this cheap way out of trying to get fans to fully get behind this and go, oh my God, he's right, we're going to be better. Because if these guys do these type of numbers, we're better. That isn't the way you do it. You could do this in so many different ways. Simply talk about the position that they're playing and what it was last year. Aaron Judge, he gets to go back to right field, which we feel makes us better defensively. Cody Bellinger, if you listen to Aaron Boone, they want him in center field. Okay, makes us defensively better. You look at left field with Dominguez, we can get to that later if we feel that's the right move. But he's our top prospect. He's the number 1 prospect on the team. Yes, we believe he's going to do better production than Alex Verdugo. That's where we feel we're getting better. To me, it was just a bad way of answering a question, in my opinion.
And that's why I said in the beginning is I feel like sometimes Hal puts his foot in his mouth. And
Correct.
listen, I'm not gonna knock on the guy. He offered Soto $760 million. I'm sorry. I am upset of what the moment is right now, where you're making it look like as fans we can't go over 300. We shouldn't, because that doesn't. No, we don't. We understand that you don't have to go over 300 every time. But next year you got 80 million coming off the books. Next year you can say that. But right now we need a second baseman or a third baseman, and we need a lefty reliever. And don't tell me you're gonna go into the season with those ifs again. We've been having ifs for the last 3 years on certain positions. We're gonna do that again. You have a clear-cut path, possibly the clearest this year, even better than last year, to possibly the World Series again. And you're gonna go in with ifs? Blow the fucking doors off the hinges, man.
And that's why fans are upset. And I understand them being upset because it's something that me and Francis have talked about a while. We got a couple of super chats here. Rod Thompson says, here's a question. If the Yankees signed Soto and did nothing else, how much better is that team than the Yankees' current roster? To me, that's a tough one to answer because you never really know.
Well, correction, because people also say, well, they would have got Soto and nothing else. No, they could have still done the Devin Williams deal. So I think that Devin Williams and Soto were probably going to be the 2 deals that the Yankees would have made. And you tell me.
I think they would have done Bellinger also.
First of all,
I definitely think they would have done Bellinger.
I hate that argument because it doesn't take into account that the only move that was done that would not have been done if Soto was signed is Max Fried.
Max Fried, yeah.
Yeah.
Max Fried wouldn't have been given the money. Bellinger still makes a ton of sense. He can opt out after this year.
He would have played first.
He plays first, and you don't have to.
Maybe Goldschmidt doesn't happen.
Goldschmidt probably doesn't happen.
Yeah, they probably won't. They probably don't delegate $12 million to Goldie.
No,
I think that would,
but
yeah,
you
I
don't
think
have
that
to.
would happen.
You don't have to
Exactly.
because you don't have a place to play him. If you trade for Cody Bellinger, remember Cody Bellinger didn't even take like pieces from us like that.
Poteet.
That was a deal that Cashman pretty much made like highway robbery. We
Yeah.
took the money. He's here. He'd be probably playing first base. The outfield would be Judge, Soto, and Dominguez. You still probably make the trade for Devin Williams. Like
That was a wash of
is not
money.
here. Paul Goldschmidt is not here. I still think if they re-sign Soto, they still find a way to get better. The Cody Bellinger stuff was
agree.
not just going to go away. That didn't just start because Soto was gone. The Cody Bellinger to the Yankees has been a topic for way longer than that, since before Soto was even a Yankee.
Or if anything, Francis, if it's Goldschmidt, but you still get Soto, Goldschmidt, Devin Williams, that's still a better team than what was last year.
And let me just add one more
Soto,
thing too.
Goldschmidt, Devin Williams is 1,000% a better
No
team
doubt
than you had
about it.
last year. Yes, it
No
is.
doubt about it.
Hell yeah.
No doubt about it. And then
Hell
one
yeah.
more thing I want to add too, folks, do not underestimate how good Judge and Soto and Judge were together. Like, I think people are already losing that because it's gone. You're going to miss that.
They're
Trust
downplaying
me
it.
when I tell you right now, we're going to miss that this year at many points in the season. You just are. It doesn't matter how good some other guys are. That was too dynamic. And that was one of the main reasons why I'm sitting there screaming at the top of my lungs saying, do whatever you can to get him back. And don't get me wrong, I've never sat out and said I'm very upset with Hal Steinbrenner. Should have went to 820. Should have kept going higher. Fuck it. Should have
I'm
gave
not
him a
gonna
billion.
fucking say that shit is
I'm not
stupid.
gonna say that either. I'm not gonna do that. I think the mind was made up, and to be fair, I mean we kind of have a little bit of more of an understanding that this was something that was kind of well known, more so than we even expected, with Soto going to the Mets. Cracker Nuts ad, what's up, guys? Happy birthday to the MVP Jira. Yes, in a couple of hours. Yeah, it'll be her birthday. So shout out to the beautiful, lovely, wonderful fiance on a little birthday. Okay. Let's keep the interview going. Let's take a listen.
Oh, good.
Those two guys, two former MVPs. What could that mean in that clubhouse, having guys like that with that type of experience and success?
Well, I've heard great things about both of them, their leadership. We've got a lot of young guys, and we're going to continue to bring young guys up and have them be a part of all this. And those are the kind of players you need, along with the Judges of the world and the Stantons of the world in the clubhouse and the Coles.
You had mentioned the pitching being better, much better rotation. You made a big commitment to Max Fried. What do you like about Max Fried?
I got to meet him and his parents, obviously, in New York. I mean, and I've talked to Carlos Rodon about him and others. I mean, just a great, I call him a kid because he looks like he's 18 years old. But very, very down to earth. The work ethic is impeccable from what I've heard. And he's a great teammate. I mean, he's everything we want in our clubhouse, over and above what he brings when he's on that mound.
Oftentimes people say it is so difficult to play and have success in New York. What is it about his personality that leads you to believe he's going to be able to play under that type of scrutiny and spotlight?
He's confident, short conversation with him. I could tell that right off the bat. He's got great support with his family, his parents, encouragement. And he's been there, done that in the postseason, right? So he comes with all that experience, even though he's fairly young of age. And it'll be a good thing.
You made a big addition in the bullpen in Devin Williams. When you look at that area of the team as a whole, what comes to mind?
Well, I think the back end of that bullpen is and we're still talking. We're not done with anything yet. We'll be going right up until pitchers catchers report probably after that. But the back end of that bullpen is phenomenal, right? With Hamilton, Weaver, and Dillon. And I'm excited about Loizaga being back as well. And I think by hopefully beginning of June, he'll be a big part of that bullpen. And it's a good one. And again, I'm excited about our defense being better too. I think Bellinger's going to add a lot.
All right. So nothing really there. Anybody want to comment on that?
Excited about the defense being better. The Yankees would have been better if they would just kept guys in check during the season and called it out when it was clearly fundamentals
Who's job
going
is
wrong. We know the guy who's about to get an extension. We'll get into that later as well.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, 2 out of the 3 errors that happened, the guys are still there. Judge is still there. Volpe is still there. And you can make the argument that Cole is still there because Cole should have covered first. Or if you want to make the argument that maybe Goldschmidt or any other guy
I give
at
him
first makes that belt.
half the credit.
So the guys that lost the World Series, I mean, there was more aspects of losing the World Series, but they're still here. So it's funny that we're better defensively, but the guys that created the issues are still here. But not saying that we should get rid of them. Again, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's funny to say, "Oh, defense," when honestly, this team could have just played heads-up baseball a lot earlier if they would have made it a priority halfway through the season when everybody was calling them out, including beat writers. But when I went back and I quote tweeted those beat writers, they blocked me because it's funny how now it's like you can't be too aggressive on the Yankees. Only the beat writers can. But when you use their own words against them, they go ahead and block you.
Yeah, but we went into this, I want to say 2-3 weeks ago. We had a whole freaking rant about how the media has kind of lost the sense of what it used to be or what it was kind of created to be, which was a voice, for the voiceless, and it was a conduit for the fans to get their thoughts and feelings put in front of the players and upper management and the front office. And we spoke about how communication is a two-way street. Everybody knows that it's the basic of communication, right? It's like the first rule in communication. And media, the journalists, the beat writers, whoever, like they study communications, a lot of them. So you would expect that they know this, that communication needs to be a two-way street. And yet for so often it feels like their job is only to be the mouthpiece for the team. But like our thoughts and feelings don't go the other way. That's why NYY Underground is where we are and continues to grow and is going to continue to grow because we understand that there's a void in that game. And that's where we step in. That's why we are who we are. And you know what? Like the less they do it, the better it kind of is for us. So like, let them keep shooting themselves in the foot that way. But the thing that Hal, says about what's it called with the, with Soto and he doesn't say anything about Soto, but she asked him about that. The only thing I wanted to say quickly about that is I hate that every time Hal has to be faced with a question about this, it's going to bring up a lot of fans, like those feelings that he didn't do enough there. And that's the one thing where it's like, I got to defend him. I'm always going to probably defend him when it comes to that because I feel like he did everything. I really do truly feel like Hal Steinbrenner did everything that he could to keep Juan Soto a Yankee. And I know that there's things that people bring up with the Swede and the whatever, but I'm sorry. I don't think it was that. I don't think that was it at the bottom line. I don't think that was it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it was $60 million more when you do the math. 60.
Yep.
And I think that number would have been the same no matter how high Hal went on his offer. I think that gap would have been the same. And we were told
and yeah, and also too. No, we definitely were, but also too. I mean, if you believe Scott Boras and a lot of these other guys, even Steve Cohen kind of said it that their belief was right before he got that call again, was that he was going to be a Yankee. They thought it was over and he was going to be a New York Yankee, and that was it. And then he got the final call and he said, "I'll up," and that was the end of the line. That was it. But I agree. I will never again. I've defended Hal, and people have gotten mad at me. Hell, I've been called Michael K. Pete Simonetti has been, "Oh my God, you sound like Michael K. now. Listen to this." I've defended Hal Steinbrenner, but Macho King says Hal is weak. I challenge him in Trash Can to a match on March 29th. I'll elbow drop him. Bad coins will shoot at his arse like Super Mario Brothers. Oh, yeah, match out. Damn, what a violent group we got here. Tony Rivera says the media is only concerned about the drama with Juan. Oh, he said Juan Toto. Wow. Happy B-Day to the MVP. He, calls him Juan Toto, and then he says, "Happy birthday, Jira. How you doing?" Same message. Let's go ahead and continue on with Hal here.
Luis Gil named Rookie of the Year. When you look at his season, what stood out to you the most? Because he was a guy that, if Garrett Cole didn't get injured, may not have even come into play in that starting rotation.
Just, look, we like what we saw in spring training, obviously. Just again, fearlessness on the mound. the moment never seems to get to him. Obviously, we all know his stuff is good, but to come in as a rookie and into the Bronx and do what he did is phenomenal. And Austin Wells too. Very proud of him. He was high up in the voting and had a great season as well. And again, we are going to continue to bring when young kids are ready, and they've proven that they're ready. We're gonna be giving them a shot in whatever positions we can, and we've got a pretty good track record of that. So.
Unless your name is Jason Dominguez.
I thank you. I'm glad you stopped at that. That's one of the statements that probably got me the most hot out of this whole interview, because how you fix your lips to say that our track record shows that when as recent as last season, you had Jason Dominguez riding bench for Alex Verdugo. This is the problem. That's the shit that really irks me. That's the shit that really gets me mad, because we're not stupid. We just saw this shit. We just saw it.
That's why I was so prepared to stop that right there, because your own man in your front office, Omar Minaya, came out and flat out said it was money. So again, my expectation right now, and we're going to get to this, is that DJ LeMahieu gets paid a lot of money. He'll be playing baseball for the New York Yankees. And we got more information on that too. We got a super chat here from Jeff J. George was abusive. The whole stadium clapped when he was suspended, but he was never a whiny bitch. Hey, yo, which is what Hal is. Shut up and earn our money. We don't need to buy more caps. And I can't wait to get into that part. So if anybody doesn't mind, I don't know when the part is about the big meat of this, but I don't really want to hear him
Judge
talk
in all
about,
those days.
I want to hear the
We've
That's what I want to hear.
of players there voluntarily, and that's what we saw last year, early, which I thought was a great sign, and we're seeing that again.
How much do you think the fuel to the fire is being fueled there with coming so close last year, getting to the World Series, but not being able to get the job done?
I think they've got a chip on their shoulder. I think they had a chip on their shoulder coming into this last season, even more so now. Tale of two different seasons, right? 2 years ago, we didn't make the playoffs, had a lot of injuries. I mean, it was just a bad year. Less injuries this year, played better, made it to the World Series, and for me, it hurts worse than 2 years ago when we didn't make the playoffs at all. Not everybody's like that, but I think you're alluding to the fact that when you get that close and you don't make it, it's particularly when you have some sloppy play, not good defense and things like that. And Dodgers were not better than us. They played better than us.
Well, I have to ask.
Can I tip my cap to him on that one?
I agree. I agree on that, though. I don't think the Dodgers were that much better than the Yankees. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says.
They weren't. I've been preaching that message the entire time. My thing about the Dodgers is, look, and again, we're going to get into the Boone stuff about the Dodgers talking shit. I want to say what my answer from Aaron Boone would have been, because I really wish he did grab his balls and say something, because shout out to WFAN, I think it was Sal and whoever else. They were trying to get him to go there, but we'll get to that. But the Dodgers didn't beat the shit out of the Yankees. Let's be honest. The Dodgers didn't wipe the floor with the Yankees.
No.
There was never a game where you sat there and said, damn, this team is so much better than us, bro. Like, there's no chance. The Yankees fumbled. And I'm happy that even Hal alone could get it out of his mouth to say, we played bad defense and sloppy play and all that. It was at least nice to hear that.
I think the Yamamoto game was the only game that you can tell that probably the Yankees didn't have much life to them.
Yeah.
And they were still in it.
That's the
was a
game
close
Soto
game.
homered off him, right?
Yes.
And Freeman led the game off with a homer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the only game that it looked like the Yankees didn't do much, but they were still in it. And game ended 4-2. That's what I'm saying. There were no blowouts. We blew them out one game, the only game we won. So I mean, again, game one is so, and we'll get to that. And I don't want to talk about that now yet. But to Hal's comments, again, it's more of the same thing. I don't know to you guys, but he's sounding Cashman-like sometimes now. Maybe it's rubbing off on him. I don't know the way he's speaking right now. It sounds Cashman-like. And it's just like, man, you're going to have a tough time selling to this fan base. You don't want to go over 300. Where you don't want to go over 300. You won't want to make the big moves. You want to extend Boone. You want to keep like the likes of Cashman and those guys here. And the Yankees are still, they have a window now. And if they don't make the World Series, it's going to be even worse, because you had a chance to put a better competitive team, and you decided to take, again, at times, like I always say, they take their foot off the gas and then sometimes they end up regretting it. Like in 2022, they almost lost the fucking division. People forget that. It was
Yeah.
gonna be an insane collapse. In 2024, 2023, we get it. Judge got hurt. But 2024, again, we had that miss. As soon as Cole came back, everything went to shit. We were playing horrible baseball again. So it's like it happens too many times under the same leader. And I understand that Boone is not the worst guy. I understand he's a people's a player's manager. I do not dislike Boone at all. I think he's a great dude. I mean, I understand it's a tough job. It's not an easy job. But at the end of the day, how many more times do we have to hear the same bullshit and see the same attitude go out on the field? The Yankees were better and made it to the World Series this year because of their attitude there and their chemistry, as well as Soto being part of the Yankees. People forget that. This was a new identity, a different team. They talked about it since spring training. The vibes were, this is the best vibes we've seen. Like, so I'm telling you, chemistry matters. This is why Soto was in the Padres and they ended up being better after he left. For some reason, they didn't gel. That's not on Soto because Soto gelled with the Yankees.
Yeah.
So they're dismissive of chemistry. They're dismissive of all that stuff.
It was a personality thing, I think, in San Diego. There was a personality clash. And it's not they people wrote it out as there was a beef in the clubhouse, whereas it's not necessarily a beef when two people's personalities clash. That's not what that is. Like, Tatis is a big personality. He is a loud personality. He is the guy in San Diego. And nobody, not Juan Soto, not Aaron, not nobody.
I think Manny's also talked about that too, though, that it wasn't like no problem. Like they disliked each other. It was not like that.
No, it wasn't beef. They made it into a beef because they said it's not working and they're losing games because of whatever. But in reality, it's just that you got two colorful personalities, very big personalities that clash. And sometimes you can't, like, as good as the players are on paper, it doesn't translate to wins on the field because the vibes, the chemistry doesn't mix. It's one of those things. Why did it work in New York? Why did he speak glowingly about Judge? Why is he still speaking glowingly about Judge? Because Judge is not Tatis, bro. Judge is not that. We don't have that on the Yankees. So when Juan Soto came, he brought that to the Yankees. You understand? Like, he's the one who brought that life. Him, Doogie with the chains, Jazz Chisholm when we traded for him in the middle of the season. Like, Stroh, they brought that shit. But the guys who have been here, like, they don't have that. G is not that dude. Judge is not. Judge is one of the best freaking players in the history of this game.
And they don't need to be.
He hits a home run.
Correct.
He hits a home run and he looks down.
Yeah.
That's
He doesn't show up.
Yeah.
He doesn't show up pictures. He doesn't. It's so rare that Aaron Judge even does a little bit of a taunt that when he does do it, it looks super awkward. Like when he did the shit in Toronto, like the covering his eyes thing or whatever, because they were saying he was looking at the shit. Like when he does do something like that, it looks awkward because he doesn't do it. It's not him.
Not his thing. Yeah.
But he doesn't have to be him. It doesn't have to be him. Because like you said, like if it's not you, it's not you. You don't want it to look forced. But I think that's a big part of it. That's what kind of worries me when I look at this team, right? Because this current team in 2025 looks like a lot of the Yankees teams like we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Like, feels very like, rehash of Yankees past. Whereas last year didn't feel like that. It felt
that was all I've been saying this offseason. And for some reason people thought that I was saying some wild shit. I mean, when this is a bland team, it looks like a bland team. And I'm not saying that Goldschmidt and Cody could, I don't know. We don't know yet, but right now you lost two of the biggest personalities. And listen, I was okay with parting ways with Doogie, even though shout out to Doogie. I mean, I don't know what happened. I thought Doogie was gonna do better, but he ended up cooling down midway through the season. But we got Jazz. So but we lost Soto. And the Yankees are looking to trade Stroman. So you're losing three of the biggest four personalities in that clubhouse. And we don't know what this Yankee team is gonna look like. Even in 2022, guys, we had Carpenter came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So Carpenter's spark was part of that team, and why everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why, and this is again, this is what analytics don't like to talk about. They can't quantify chemistry. They can't quantify sparks. They can't.
Correct.
But it's there.
Intangibles don't work with.
There's no stat. There's no
with all
stat.
that. Exactly.
But it's there.
And gut
And
all that
it
stuff.
matters as much as we make fun of the shit that the Dodgers do, whatever. Because like that's not my cup of tea. But like their vibes,
What, the club checking?
everything. Because it's not just the D bumps that they do. They do a bunch of other shit that's real sus or whatever. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, they do some things that are sus.
They do some wild shit. They do some wild shit in LA.
They do mad shit.
They do some wild
They
shit.
do some wild. They do some wild.
Hey, yo!
They do some wild shit over there.
But you can't argue with the results.
No, they won the World Series.
You can't argue. That's
They won the whole fucking thing. But
Like-
I just want to add this in here because again, the one thing I like to do here at the U, because if there's a slip up or we're wrong about something, a lot of people want to talk and be like, oh look, guess what we've been saying for years now is that the Yankees need those type of players on the team.
Yes.
We've been saying it for the Yankees need when they got it. Shit, I've been calling for Soto since he was a National. When they got it, they went to the World Series. It was the most fun, exciting Yankee season that we've had in I can't tell you how long. Yeah, of course. Was there a time? Of course. There was a time there where it was tough. You know what I mean? There was some struggle there. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, look, I'll be honest with you. I can't listen to Hal for all this time. I'm going to cut to this comment about the Dodgers because I really want to get into this part here. Here's the comment that is making everybody go nuts as DJ Steels adds in, Crackle Nuts' favorite singer is Honey Bun Jovi. Okay, just wanted to add that one in there before we get into this. It's difficult for the most of us owners to be able to do the kinds of things they're doing, speaking of the Dodgers. We'll see if it pays off. They still have a season relatively injury-free for it to work out for them. And ladies and gentlemen, guys, if you don't mind, if I could start this one off, because I've been holding this in all day long. I have been holding this in all day long to talk about this. I have defended Hal a lot. Hell, I'm still going to be defending Hal on certain things where people say he doesn't spend and things like that. But we're going to talk about a little bit of that stuff later. But I got to stick to these comments right now. One, Hal Steinbrenner needs somebody to be with him and say, Hal, shut up. Don't say that. Don't say that. Just don't you don't have to say that. One, Hal Steinbrenner is the owner of the greatest sports franchise of all time. His father is a legend, like him or not, because of what he did with the Yankees. He passed this down, as every father should. I'm not gonna, some people, oh, he's a nepo, whatever. He passed it down to his son. It's what he did. It's what every family wants to do.
Every family does.
We create a legacy. We want, when we pass away, we would love for it to go to the next ones in line. That's just how life works. But I don't want to hear the owner of the Yankees saying, us owners. No, Hal, there's you and everybody else. Don't give me the shit of us owners. How are we going to compete with the mighty Dodgers? All of a sudden, this man's father, again, I've been saying this for years, has turned in his grave so much, he's chilling in China right now. He's been like a fucking drill going through the earth. With how many times this guy makes him go nuts. Hal, you got a bad business. Everybody says businessman. You're a bad businessman when it comes to the Yankees. What market have you tapped into? Can anybody tell me here, as a smart businessman in New York City, what market has Hal Steinbrenner tapped into? When was the last good Asian player that played for the Yankees with millions of Asians in New York?
Yeah, Tanaka.
Tanaka. That's it.
Again, whether people go, oh, well, these guys didn't want to play. Fine. But we've missed out on many. I don't know who's looking at this talent. I don't know who didn't see Kodai Senga. I talked about him. I didn't talk about
that was
Imanaga.
A reasonable price too.
Imanaga was nothing. Shoto was nothing to sign him.
Imanaga was a steal.
Seiya Suzuki
I was afraid.
has become a good player.
I was afraid of Imanaga though.
There was no.
He's a
There
fly ball
was
pitcher.
No, of course. I said it too. I didn't
trepidation.
want him. I didn't want him because I was scared of the home run ball here. So I think he shocked everybody. But even Juan Soto, Juan Soto comes here, and I know some people said, yeah, people, they probably do that when they re-sign him. What? Have Dominican food? Have a Dominican presence in the stadium when you're in the Bronx? The Dodgers, and shout out to, I think, what is it, Yankee Slut on Twitter?
Yes.
Who wrote about that? A crazy name. That is the name. That's not me, Pete. That's not Pete calling some Yankee chick a slut, all right? That's not that. Yankee Slut is the name. And whoever's behind the account broke it down well. But again, this is something that I've been talking about for a long time, of making money based off the players you bring in. The Yankees don't tap into markets. The Dodgers have. People go, yeah, but LA, it doesn't matter whether it's closer and that's a preference. They've done it. And they're making millions and millions of dollars based off Japan. They've tapped into a market. The Yankees aren't doing that, and they're sitting back going, we don't have money. Yet, we still made more than the Dodgers did because Pete Simonetti, Kevin Francis keep showing up.
Yep.
And it's a tourist attraction, and we got it by the balls. We got the city by the balls. I was given this for, bro, run your business. And again, people go, oh, he's okay. I'm not arguing. Good businessman, whatever you want to say. Prove to me that he's tapping in the markets. Prove to me that he's doing the smartest thing. Now, you may say that's not the way you want to get the best player available. Has there not been many players available that the Yankees could have gotten that does tap into certain markets? Yeah. They're dropping the ball here. They're dropping the ball big time, and then they're crying wolf that they don't have enough money. Nobody's saying, there's a lot of people out there saying they got to go 360, 350. And I defended that and said, yeah, but for who? Like, I agree not going crazy here. But you're telling people, well, we got to move Marcus Stroman before we bring back Tim Hill? Before we sign another infielder? For a couple of $1 million? I don't think Yankee fans are going to rip their hair out if they bring in somebody for $3 or $4 or $5 million. Tim Hill ain't going to cost that much. The fact of the matter is that the Yankees are sitting there saying, well, I can't go over 3-0. We got a cap. Is absolute bullshit that no Yankee fan wants to hear. That's it.
And look who's interested in Tim Hill. The Dodgers and the Mets. That is telling. So, and this was my
You mean
whole
the team that won the World Series?
Exactly. Who still had Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates. They brought back their fucking closer. I forgot his name. What's his name? Their closer? Trinan. So it's like they still want to add Tim Hill to that bullpen with Gratterall and all those guys over there. And the Yankees are here still like, oh well, no, we got Devin Williams. We'll make Nick Birdie a lefty, see if he comes back or we'll bring. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. The Yankees' payroll revenue last year was $679 million. Now I don't know if that includes the playoffs.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's separate.
Doesn't include the playoffs. You said the Yankees could have brought in almost 70 million, I think it was, extra with the playoff run. That was the reports. Let's say it's 50.
More.
And
then how many games they play at Yankee Stadium? I mean, yeah, you would assume
it's gotta be more.
It's got to be up there.
So that, and you also got another $15 million from the Rays. How about throwing that money out? Oh, the Rays gave me $15 million. Well, let's go to 315. I'll go up to that because that's not my money. That's the Rays money. Because what I understand is the Yankees are buying back, yes, and they're paying for their own stadium, and the real profit of the 679 for the Steinbrenner shareholders and their family is like 50-60 million. So they divide that within how many they are. But you mean to tell me that as a board you can't sit down and say like this year, is everybody okay with making $5 or $4 million less? Listen to what we're talking about here. So this team can make another trip to the World Series. If I'm making anywhere from $5 to $10 million, $8 million a year, Pete, off the New York Yankees, I would, for another trip to the World Series, I would say, yeah, go ahead, $3-4 million. I'm yes.
And mind you, you're only talking about the Yankee profits.
Correct. Listen, this is hearsay because we don't know. Because again, I'm not sure how much they're paying off for yes, and I'm not sure. This is off a tweet. I think Bobby Malone was one of the guys, and somebody else said they broke it down a little bit. We don't know how accurate that is. But point being is, last year they went up to $316 million on their payroll. What was their payroll? 46% out of their revenue. They're 18th in the league. So the Mets, the Blue Jays, and the D-backs, they were top three. They were all over 75%. The Dodgers, even though they spent 330, 340, and this year they're going to spend even more, they're 60%. The Yankees, you mean to tell me the Yankees can't go 50%? That's an extra 3.5. That will get you a solid second base or third base option. And if you trade Stroman, maybe you can make a bigger splash and bring in a bigger name. This all creates opportunities for more revenue. You bring in a guy like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it again, Carlos Correa or Nolan Arenado, but let's say Carlos Correa. How many fucking jersey sales is that with Correa coming over here? How different does the team look? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for you to sit there and tell us, oh, we can't spend like the Dodgers. I mean, at least he gets on the microphone and says it, because the Boston owner doesn't say it, the Cubs owner doesn't say it, right? And those guys can as well spend because they make a lot of money.
So
That's
they're just not stupid enough, like Hal, is what you're saying. Honestly,
The thing is, the reason, I'll tell you right now, the reason why Hal Steinbrenner will get in front of a camera.
I said at least. I'm not even know.
No. The reason why Hal Steinbrenner will get in front of a camera and say this is because he doesn't think it's stupid at all. As a matter of fact, there's probably 25 other owners that are in full agreement with him, and they all believe they're right. And the reason they believe they're right is because they tell themselves a line that he says later in the interview. You get into the playoffs, and then you'll see what happens, because anything can happen when you get into the playoffs.
I'm so sick of hearing
Here's the
that
thing.
shit. I'm so sick of hearing that, man.
When you sit there, right?
That's the mentality.
Here, when we sit there with this, like, say with the idea Kev had, right? And you say, look, let's talk to the, let's bring the shareholders in, let's talk to the board and say, look, we might make a little bit less this year, but we're trying to, we're going to up the payroll in hopes of returning to the World Series. So, it might be a little bit, a couple million shaved off the top of everybody's profits or whatever like that. Here's the reason why that's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. People are not going to go for it, because they have people in the room telling them that they don't have to do that.
Yep.
They have people in the room telling them, no. This is a good enough team as is. Like, even if we run DJ LeMahieu out as our third baseman on opening day, even if we're not, able to trade Stroman, and so we go with the bullpen that we have and try to find a lefty, at the deadline, even if we do that, we're still a World Series contender. They have baseball people, according to them, analytics people, who will sit in the room and convince these people that this is a great team, that this team is better than last year's team on paper, a team that featured Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. They will sit there and tell people with straight faces that this team, as currently constructed, is better than that team, and that's why there's no reason why they shouldn't make the World Series. And then when they fumble the division and go in as a wild card, pass the DS by the skin of their teeth, and lose in the ALCS, they'll say it wasn't because they weren't good enough. It's because the playoffs are a crapshoot. That's the problem.
Yeah, of course. And this is why everybody got mad at me.
It's a circle.
The video is probably out there. Go look at the video when he said it. And I said the Yankees are what? A just get in organization. That's what they've become. And I said, yes. If you look at it on the surface, there's truth to it. Everybody knows that. Anybody could win in that moment. We all understand that. But when you say it, you open the door to a shitload of problems. And that's exactly what they've done. The mentality is wrong, because if the mentality was put the best team out there fully, go all out and win, guess what, folks? You wouldn't be thinking about DJ LeMahieu as your third baseman right now. The Yankees, without payroll, will be a little more up. Again, I got to get Santander. No. It could slightly go up, and we know that. Got a couple of super chats before we move on here.
Lose respect. I might as well enjoy them big cans.
Facts. They should be enjoying them big cans. I think they're a super short. I think they're super short, a superstar short in the lineup. But if Goldie and I still think Arenado is coming, turn back the clock. It can be a long lineup, and then we had a couple of more here. I want to make sure I get to all.
Benny was right under. Hal's biggest advantage is money. He also wants a salary cap. That's all you need to know about Hal. He needs a billionaire partner to buy in.
All right. And then we have
Never do it.
Osvaldo says a lot of shill Yankee fans are about to learn the hard way about the state of the Yankees organization. This is just the beginning. Keep the good work, NYYU. My brother, we appreciate you.
Gracias, manito.
And then we got Jeff says, billionaires don't need a salary. They take low-cost loans on highly valuable assets, art, jewelry, teams. That's why their taxes are low compared to their net worth. The team profits pay off the loan. And then the last one here by Joe, Dodgers don't say, just get there and see what happens. Dodgers say we're going to whip everyone's asses in October, and they keep on improving. Facts. And
They just won the World Series and they didn't take the foot off the gas.
Bro, they may have won harder after winning the World Series.
But
By the way,
Dude.
here's the problem. What did a lot of Yankee fans say when Soto went, well, if we win the World Series and he leaves, I'm okay with that. I'm not. I've never been okay with. I hear that, oh, they win the World Series and he leaves, then I guess it's all right. Not why. Why is it okay? No, folks, this should have been the offseason. The Yankees, I think we all agree across the board, AL is ass. Can some team surprise us? Yeah, I think Boston could be a better team. You never count them out. There are some clubs out there that could be good. But
Texas
I think
Texas could be
agrees
good, and
Texas could be very good.
Bay.
You never know with a lot of these clubs, right? But
Caminero.
on paper,
I can't believe it.
where we feel good about the Yankees. We feel good about the New York Yankees. Somebody should have looked at Hal and said, I can't believe it. That's what they should have said to Hal. But this was an off-season now where the Yankees could have very easily did what the Dodgers did and said, we're just going to blow everybody away here. Alex Bregman is sitting out there, and Lord knows where the hell he's going to go.
And if he goes back for that amount to Houston, Pete, what was it, 156 for 6?
Yeah.
Was that right under 28 million?
It's 27. I think it's 26 million or 27 a year. That's what it is. That's
Give him 180 with a signing bonus, move Stroman, and you're still at 310, 312.
Well, that's my point. I'm not saying I'm not advocating for them to go to 350, 360.
That's what I'm saying. 310.
How are you sitting there as the New York Yankees and you're saying we got to move Stroman before we make additional moves? That's my beef. Fuck the big players. But what are you doing here? You're handcuffing yourself for what reason?
It's Pete just said it. The Yankees are arresting themselves.
Yes.
And then going out to the public and saying, no, I can't do anything. My hands are tied. Like, motherfucker, you tied yourself.
We seen you put it on yourself. What are you talking about?
Tying the rope. Like, this is the issue. Like, I don't look. What's up, Move Board? When I see the comments out there, and he speaks about the Dodgers, and he sits there with that little tone, and you hear it when he says it. Those of you who saw the video know. He's like, yeah, well, they still got to stay healthy, and they still got to do that. Yeah, so do you. With a much worse team on
He doesn't know fucking ball.
Who?
You can't convince me this man knows ball that way.
But even if he didn't, Pete, like, you're a billionaire. Who are the communications people in the room? Who does Hal Steinbrenner's talking points? Who's his PR person? Because they think that the key to this, the secret to this, is hiding him and only, giving him to the public in short, bursts, and that's it. And this way, yes, he's gonna put his foot in his mouth, but it's only gonna be a couple times a year, and we can survive it. No, how about you sit there and work with him on communicating effectively to your fan base? Instead of hiding him for most of the year, that you don't hear from him, that you don't know where the hell he is, you don't see him, you don't whatever, and then he comes out and says something this cockamamie stupid. How about you sit down with him and say, this is how you connect with your fan base, because this is what they're like. When he speaks, it's almost as if he doesn't even hear what the fans are saying.
Yeah, that's right, and he doesn't. Let me tell you. Want me to break something down for everybody? He doesn't give a fuck what we think or say. He doesn't lose an inch of sleep at night thinking that, oh, man, this fan base, man, they're really upset with me right now. They're mad at what I said. Hal don't give a poot about what we said. And one more thing on top of what Francis just said. This is also the team that preaches communication. And for years now, all I have ever done was use their own words against them and say, what happened to this? But that was your comment. And now you're saying this?
Yeah.
They do it with everything. All you got to do is watch. Watch and listen.
He said it again. We're not done yet. Let's see.
Eli.
He did it before. So
you're my Eli. You're my guy. You're my guy. All right.
He's your guy, not my guy.
I like you're my guy. I like you. You have to fucking stop though. You need to fucking stop.
Like
You
you're
don't-
talking to a friend,
Keep
you're
on.
talking to a wall. There's
Like,
no
don't
point.
you? It's like, don't you realize
You know Eli's voice?
No.
the fact that you
You're talking to a
agree,
wall.
the fact that you don't see anything wrong with what Hal Steinbrenner said, that means that there's a lot wrong with what he said.
Yeah.
Who cares about the Yankees fan base? That's
Who cares
that's
about-
Eli's
what do
voice,
you-
by the way.
What do you mean? Who cares about the Yankees fan base? We are the money. We're the ones who put the money in their pocket.
It's talking to a wall.
we
And
buy
you're
the
talking
ticket.
to a wall.
We watch the games. Like
I love you, brother, but I gotta stop you. You're talking to the wall.
It's
You're talking to a wall. There's no point. You're legitimately talking to a wall. We got a super chat. I'm gonna get to the super chat instead of
Well, we
LI,
got to find
please.
out. We got to keep, we got to keep running him out there. He's earned that.
That's
can't
DJ LeMahieu.
He's earned that, and where we are right now, roster wise, like we got to give that an opportunity to unlock it. And if we can,
I didn't delete that because I felt that they were gonna give him one more shot, and I swear to God, if we are talking about DJ LeMahieu in spring training, and I hate to continue to do this because at this point I feel like I'm picking on DJ, but it's not him, and plus he doesn't do much to help his image, right? Because he can't even tell the kids what's his favorite cereal in spring training. So I'm sorry.
Son, you fucking worried about a cereal?
I'm fat.
You
What do you
be-
expect?
It's like, yo, at least say
At
something.
least know your
endear
cereal,
yourself to
brother. Come
people.
on, DJ.
Your
Give us a
man
fucking
can't even tell you what
cornflakes.
cereal he likes.
And at least say cornflakes or something. That's
Yeah.
the cereal that represents you best. Cornflakes.
You got the other ones. I got this one because this one's funny. The first one that came up. I don't give a fuck with this, which is
Yeah,
ID 93. We ain't winning another World Series for years, bro.
I understand, but I want to let me get these super chats and let's stick
Go ahead.
on DJ LeMahieu because I definitely want to talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Ross says, Pete, and you all have said this a million times. How spend money, but both their prospects and finances have been handled extremely poorly. Def says Yanks already generate insane money. Now imagine if they were owned by some corp and had a $400 million payroll. It would be insane. Maybe Hal should sell. I'm not even here to talk about Hal Steinbrenner selling or anything like that.
selling.
But if you remember last year, DJ LeMahieu, the situation with DJ LeMahieu was so wild because that was one of the comments. But do you remember when Aaron Boone basically said that he was a bicycle? You remember this? He said he's just not in the right gear. This is this is why I love doing what we do, and I always say this is the podcast for New Yorkers. If you're a New York Yankee fan, NYYU is truly for you because nobody else is New York, and nobody else understands it. Nobody else gets it. Nobody else fully understands it. I've been saying this for years. Stop bullshitting Yankee fans because the real ones get it. Nobody bullshits a New Yorker. Nobody does it. We New Yorkers can bullshit with the best of them. But you're not going to fool us. You're not going to sit there and have us see DJ LeMahieu try to beat out a ground ball. Kev, our video made the 2024 highlights. When Kev's going, I don't know, there's no way he couldn't beat that ball out. And and that's the same game in the post game. He goes, he's just not in the right gear. And I said, what the fuck's he, a bicycle? He's not in the right gear. That's what you got for us? And then the news comes out. You got, by the way, let me stop before I talk about the Aaron Judge thing. Do you guys want to comment on DJ LeMahieu or anything else there?
You don't add enough value to our roster to present like that.
This was happening last year while Juan Soto was part of the Yankees, fellas. This wasn't 2023. The Boone is too soft on his players by Mad Dog, and the Rose are talking like this about this was when Trent Grisham's era,
yeah.
and
They had all the sloppy plays during
all
that
the
time.
sloppy plays during the time that they were playing also bad. This was during the time where, again, and this is what I'm saying. Yes, the team is better defensively, but you have to call this bullshit out and play baseball the right way because it's gonna come and bite you in the ass. You know, watching Lidong, that's one thing that listen, and obviously there were errors were made or something, but there was one play. By the way, I'm gonna make Jen Segura another shot here. The Yankees should invite him to a spring training. He looks rejuvenated. I don't know what's going on. The man hit like 400 over there. There was an uncomfortable chopper where guys on first and second that I thought if this was Gleyber Torres, he would have probably stuck his head up his ass and got no outs. But John Segura calmly in a game 7 in the 9th inning stayed back, hopped on the ball, fired the first, and got the second out. That is something that guys with heads up, fundamentals, and they play baseball the right way do day in and day out.
Yeah.
This is what the team needs.
That's right.
So don't go out there and tell me that a 37-year-old DJ LeMahieu, and now Peraza is gonna have to save the New York Yankees. And I love Waldo, but Waldo is a bench piece. And maybe he proves us wrong this year, but right now that's what he's been. And there's nothing wrong with that.
The names that they're talking about for third base are all bench pieces, and they know it. They don't have it. They don't have that. They don't have that player right now. They don't. They're lying to themselves and through their teeth to the media.
And you'd hope they know that
they would be okay with DJ starting and Waldo playing a much bigger role and all this other. But it's bullshit. It's bullshit. They know that these guys are not starters on a championship team.
Yep.
This is the biggest issue when you look at what the Dodgers have done. The biggest issue, I think, as a Yankees fan, it's like I see people complaining about the Dodgers. It just shows how brainwashed of a fan that we've become. You're complaining that a team is going all in after winning it all. Are you freaking like how that used to be us? How am I gonna get mad that the Dodgers won the World Series and immediately proceeded to sign Blake Snell, offer Juan Soto, bring back Teoscar, get the phenom from Japan, get this other dude, Conforto, this guy, add to the bullpen. They're still adding to the bullpen. I don't know who's coming out of the pen. Every day is going to be a different freaking guy. Bro, that used to be us. I'm going to complain and say the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Bro, the Dodgers are not ruining baseball. Your team is ruining baseball.
Yep.
Your owner is ruining baseball.
Yep. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. Right. That's how you should do it. You make millions a year off of this product, off of this asset. You are raking in the money.
Yep.
Spend the money. That's why people are getting mad that Passan's saying it now, because a month ago he was saying that the Yankees are probably better off not signing that deal with Juan Soto. And then now he's saying, I don't know why they're penny pinching, because the Yankees can go over the tax. It doesn't, like, of course they can. They can spend. But two things can be true.
Yeah, it's kind of what we were saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's very similar to what we said.
I agree with what Passan said when he said a month ago. Look, this might be the best deal that the Yankees never signed. I was like, I could see the world where that's true. I can also see the world where he's saying the Yankees are sitting here that they, with this self-imposed salary cap, they can't go over this number. They got to move Stroman's $18 million, because if they don't, when in reality. They could go over the tax. The Mets are doing it. The Dodgers are doing it. And they can do it too. They're just Hal literally referred to himself. He thinks he's so slick. He said, well, the other owners.
Us owners.
Us owners.
Us owners.
Which was worse.
Think about that. No, that's horrible. You don't understand that you are the owner of the Yankees. That's owners. My beef. Again, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep saying George. You think George Steinbrenner would have said us owners can't do this with this? No. And again, I understand he's not his dad. I get that. Maybe that's a good thing he's not his father, and especially in today's time. It's probably a great thing he's not his father.
Could be, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and go, us owners, man, times are tough. Times are tough. How do we compete with the Dodgers, us owners? Well, I'm in this with everyone else. We're all talking about it. Bro, if that's truly the case, do us all a favor. I know this is not reality, but truly sell the fucking team. Like, give it to somebody who's gonna be like, I'm proud to be owner of the Yankees. We could compete with anybody. We're gonna stand up to anybody. The Dodgers ain't gonna take everybody. They beat us last year. Good for them. We're coming back this year. You see what we did? Look at the list. Look at the list of what we did.
And again, all we're saying here is the Yankees shouldn't be having a self-imposed, we can't go over 301 or 303.
Bingo.
310, 312, maybe 315 is pushing it, but an extra $10 million plus moving Stroman could do you wonders for the pieces that you need to finally put a cap on an A+ offseason. That's what's keeping you from becoming an A+ offseason. You end up for some reason and you get, even if you get Arenado, that's an A+. Even if you go ahead and get Bregman, that's an A+. Even if
anybody.
even if you get a solid second baseman and you tell me we're gonna try Jazz at third again for a second year, that's an A+.
Jorge Polanco, I'd sign up for in a heartbeat to make that happen.
But don't tell me DJ LeMahieu, Waldo is gonna go out there and Peraza. You're gonna put them in that situation.
You know what it is too, Kev? You talk about this stuff a lot. And Francis, we've all talked about this too. There's such a brainwashing out there that people think now the Yankees need a Gold Glover everywhere. Oh, but if they get a rise, people are going to go nuts because he's worse than Glaber. He's a 17-time better hitter than Glaber Torres, and he fits this lineup 600 times better. So again, for people, I get it. Yeah, okay, sometimes things do take a dip in defense for the offense. Was anybody bitching about Juan Soto?
No.
Oh, I forgot. No, nobody cared. Hell, we defended him many times, saying Yankee Stadium is the best position for him to play. He should always want to stay here because it makes his defense look better. But now, all of a sudden,
Gold Glove finalist.
Defense. I've heard about Jorge Polanco. I mean, look, the knee injury and all that. I don't know. His defense is that good. Yeah, but Nolan Arenado's old. Yeah, but this guy.
So make up your fucking mind. Who do you want?
DJ fucking LeMahieu.
That's what.
That's what you want.
That's what they want.
Again, that's all I'm gonna say. DJ LeMahieu. Rara says,
I want
Trump as
Carlos
partner.
Correa.
We need some balls. I think he got bigger things to worry about than the Yankees. But I mean, anybody is better. People laugh at me when they go, Pete, come on, you're talking about Yo Moncada. Any fucking body. I don't give a shit if it was Yo Moncada's father could come and play third base.
There's high upside with Yoel Moncada because he can be trying to come back in the league and get a contract, and you're getting him for almost nothing. That's how you play that. And the Yankees have been doing that with guys like Luke Weaver, Tim Hill, who's now probably going to get, again, you're going to if Tim Hill ends up going to the Dodgers, I'm just going to lose my shit because that is telling you let a good reliever go who's probably, I think personally, Tim Hill's probably, I don't know what's going on. I know multiple teams are interested in Tim Hill. I think Tim Hill wants to come back. He knew he had a success story with the Yankees.
I hope he goes to the Dodgers. I don't mean that as a bad. You know why I hope?
That's what the Yankees deserve at this point.
That's what they. Thank you, Francis. I don't want the Dodgers to be better. I want them to be out, and maybe we got an easy trip to get to the World. I don't want the Dodgers, but you know what I want? If he does go somewhere and it's the Dodgers, I'm gonna sit here and go good, because oh my God, we were this. We had to cuff ourselves. We decided to handcuff ourselves and go, I can't spend $5 more. Are you nuts? We're the Yankees. How do I go $5 million over? Are you crazy?
People want to, and then
Fuck
people
outta
ask the
here.
question, why do these people go to the Dodgers and they let them defer the contract? Why are all these players agreeing?
Why wouldn't you?
Bro, that's why. That's why, because the team is doing this. They're committed to getting better. They're not just trying to be the best in their division, the best in the league, the best on the West Coast. They're trying to be the best team in all of baseball. They don't just want to beat teams. They want to steamroll the league. That's what they're trying to do. And their offseason has been so freaking good that it's January 28th, 29th. And their GM is doing freaking victory lap interviews. He's sitting down with beat writers doing podcasts and just laughing. He's, hey, what do you think about them saying that you guys ruined baseball? I mean, if they're mad, that means they're doing something right. Can Brian Cashman do an interview right now? No, he can't do an interview right now. They'll kill him. Gomes is going around. He's on a tour. Because he smoked the offseason. He smoked it. He's not even paying attention. He's about to sign a great lefty reliever while he's half asleep.
The Mets got the biggest contract in sports history. The Yankees might have pivoted as well as anybody else. They're two moves away from making it a complete 180.
The best pivot one of the best pivots.
One of the best comebacks. Yes, I mean if they end up getting a solid option for third base, you can make the argument that the Yankees recovered better than anybody expected, and still above all that you're talking about, the Dodgers still ended up having a better offseason than all of those teams that I just mentioned, and they won the World Series last year.
Yep.
So
And
if
can I
you're
also just wanted to add this too, so people don't go, oh well, they made deals and now you're saying something different.
no,
We're not saying their time is over. We're simply reacting to the comments of Hal Steinbrenner and calling them out on the bullshit. You can't sit there and say like Kev is saying, you can't go get a lefty reliever. You can't get additional options for the infield. You can't get a backup catcher. Hell, we just saw Elias Diaz sign for $3.5 million. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You got options. They don't have a backup catcher right now. That's something else that nobody wants to talk about. If God forbid, something were to happen to Austin Wells, and I'm not saying that a backup catcher is always going to go ahead and play great baseball and all that, and your backup is always going to be worse than your starter. That's obvious. We know that. But who's the guy they would turn to? Ben Rice? JC Escara? I mean, who do they go to right now? Alex Jackson? I mean, this is the type of stuff that an organization like the New York Yankees shouldn't have to worry about. The depth chart shouldn't be this big of an issue as it is, not just now, as it has been for many years we've talked about. Michelino adds, Hal during organizational meeting. We're done spending, okay? Cash and the rest of the front office say, okay.
Bro. And that's another issue there. It's like one of the things Passon brought up, I don't know if it was today, but I did see the clip floating around. He's like, I don't know how the Yankees aren't in on Alex Bregman at this point. With the way that the market has completely, betrayed him, right? And they're saying that the market has betrayed him. When I think in reality, we all know who the real betrayer is there, but that's a story for another day. Regardless of how we got here, Alex Bregman seems to be at a point where he is going to sign a deal that is going to be very friendly with the team he signs with. All right, $25 million, $26 million, $27 million for Alex Bregman as your third baseman. So long as the years are not too astronomical, that is a great freaking deal. A deal that the New York Yankees could sign tomorrow and be all the more better for it. I mean, you literally hang your hat on that offseason right there. Okay, yeah, we lost 22. That hurt. We pivoted by grabbing Max Fried, Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger. We added Alex Bregman to play third base. We traded for Devin Williams. Like, when you put all that together, yes, now that's a pivot. That's a team that on paper, I would say, yeah, I could see them saying we're better than last year. Opening day to opening day comparison, this team is better than last year.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But they're not even considering. Passon is saying it. That's why I'm saying it like it's Bible, because Passon is saying it. So it's got to be pretty freaking accurate if he's saying the Yankees are not even in talks with Bregman right now. It's like, he's not wrong. How are they not at least checking on it? Like, how are they not at least seeing? Like, is there a way we could frame a short-term deal, high AAV? Like, maybe we don't. If they don't want to do the years, why not? Okay, short-term, high AAV. If they're cool with the years, but they don't want to go too high on the AAV because of their self-imposed tax. Hey, what can we? You're looking 27, maybe 26. What if we did 24? We gave you an extra year, whatever. People get afraid with the extra years and stuff like that. I don't give a damn. It's the Yankees. They can survive the back end of any contract.
Yep.
But no, they're not. No. We got to hear about Stroman every day. Every day, we got to hear about Marcus Stroman while we see him posting these cryptic videos on Instagram. I'm sick and tired of it.
And I bet you it's
Cameron Maben. What did he say today? That there's going to be Stroman news soon or some shit like that. If he knows, I don't know.
And I bet you the holdup is that the Yankees don't even want to eat anything from his contract. Like, you got to eat. You got to eat 5 or 6. You're gonna have to eat 5 or 6, 7 million. Like,
that's 100% what it is.
It wouldn't surprise me if they found a way to move him without eating anything. Because at the end of the day, the way this pitching market is completely fucked. It's completely, utterly fucked. There's guys who have produced less than Stroman the last 2 seasons who will probably make more than him in 2025. So I don't blame Cashman for standing on business when it comes to like, no, I think I can move this guy at 18 and not eat anything. What I blamed him for is not doing the other moves.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
If at the end of the day you make the other moves and then you don't find a team that's going to take the whole 18, then like you just said, okay, then fucking eat 5 or 6. You still save money. You're still saving 12, 13 million.
Either way, you're saving enough to sign what's out there. That gives you an additional option. That's the problem. That's the problem that we've talked about for a long time. Again, this is not a situation where we're upset with the club of what they've done. This is that they're giving fans this idea that we can't compete. We're the Yankees and we can't compete. We got to move this money to financially. Exactly. Not talking about, we've had injuries, unfortunately, that popped up. These guys got to come in later in the year. It's going to be tough for us. Like, we really got to go out there. That's different. That's different. You can't do that, man. It doesn't make sense.
Hal Steinbrenner, before the negotiations of Soto started, said, "We feel very comfortable that we can sign any player that we want."
Yep.
That was peak Hal Steinbrenner talking right there. We feel very comfortable that we can sign any player that we want, and we went to $760 million, Hal Steinbrenner. So listen, all we're saying is, don't sell us the shit sandwich and don't put lipstick on a pig. Go to 310. Maybe 315 is asking too much, but 310 is not out of the realm of possibilities for you to get a legit second baseman or third baseman for this New York Yankee team. And then you can ask DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo and Peraza to fight for a bench spot, because that would at least make the bench a lot more better. But now you're talking about giving them a start. We're not doing this again. You have a clear cut to the World Series again in 2025. Stop fucking penny pinching. That's all we're saying. We're not saying to go to 380. We're not.
No. And adding a third baseman would make this look. I again, this is why I love doing what we do, right? You read things, you learn things, you adapt. I like the idea of Jazz at second base. I wouldn't be scared of him playing third base. I like him at second. Yeah. But if they got a good third baseman, you're looking at arguably the best, at least defensively, no doubt about it, the best Yankees infield since 2009. I mean,
absolutely.
No question. If you think about, I'll throw some of the names out there, and I'm not advocating for any of these players. Bregman, Volpe, Jazz, Goldie, a phenomenal infield.
Ridiculous.
Arenado, Volpe, Jazz, Goldie, ridiculous. There's many different ways, and those are just one's a free agent, one's a trade. But I do want to address something in the chat here. This guy, Busy Brown, which I don't recognize him, so I don't think he's been in this long. He said you guys were crying about giving DJ 6 years. Well, again, put your head up your ass, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We've all said back then, I didn't care if they gave him 6 years. The reason why we're complaining about this now is because the Yankees were going to DFA him. They were going to DFA him.
Yep.
And this is all we've asked. They're the Yankees. They should be able to do that. If they give guys 6 years and in year 4, he's just not the player he was anymore. DFA him. You're the Yankees. You could do that. That's the thing you got above other clubs. Here's my problem. Apparently, and I didn't know this was a thing back then, but my team told me, no, Pete, it was. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was.
Apparently, when Jason Dominguez, the Martian, finally got called up, the New York Yankees were set to designate for assignment DJ LeMahieu. What happened was Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, and Anthony Rizzo approached the Yankees and said, no, please, no.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Don't do it.
All right.
They stopped the Yankees. They stopped the Yankees from doing it, and they put him on a phantom IL. Here's what I need the Yankees to do. I love that Aaron Judge can go to Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner and everybody else and go, here's my opinion. They should value his opinion. They shouldn't just bend over and say, take your shot, buddy. It's your choice. They shouldn't do that. The fact of the matter is, he is a paid player on this club like everybody else. You are under contract by the Yankees. And I'm sorry to say this, his picks haven't been that good. So, I mean, we got a track record here of you, brother, not picking the best ones.
Hey.
I'm just saying. And for anybody that sit out there, then you should have fucking lost. I'm sorry to say it. If these are the dumbass fucking decisions you're going to allow your players to convince you of doing, no, you can't get rid of DJ. You can't. What, to win? So why should Yankee fans be sitting and going, yeah, DJ's going to be the third baseman? They're going to bat for him like that. I mean, he's going to get a chance again, isn't he? Maybe. It's a real possibility he will.
I can't. I'm glad that we got there because that was where I was trying to go next anyway. This stuff with Judge, and I've been vocal about this. I've been vocal about this. I've been saying it for a while. This is the one thing, right? Along with his, playoff performances, right? So you could say two things that like really, really bother me about Aaron Judge, because like I'm for players having a voice. I think that's important. I think they should be in these conversations. Not everyone, but the important players should have. But here's my thing. And it's just gonna call a spade here. What has Aaron Judge won? New York. Like, I get maybe taking his advice. I get maybe he's taking his advice, on certain things, like, but they're not gonna pay his hitting coach. Like, they're not gonna do that. Nope. So it's like they don't want no parts of that.
They don't even acknowledge that guy.
They don't even acknowledge him. That, to me, the one thing that the biggest piece of advice that you should take from Aaron Judge is the thing that they're ignoring like the plague, because they don't want to touch that guy with a 10-foot pole. But they're taking his advice on personnel moves, like Alex Verdugo playing over Jason Dominguez, like not DFAing DJ LeMahieu because we don't want to hurt a grown man's feelings. I'm sorry, bro. And I get it. I get what Aaron Judge is trying to do. You're the leader. You're the captain, right? So you're standing tall. You're like, nah, I got to defend. That's my guy. I got to defend my guys. I got to stand up for them. I got to whatever. Yeah, but you also got to hold your people accountable, Aaron. Because this is not what is this?
Accountability? Huh?
Is this a professional baseball team, or is this a boys club? Because if it's a boys club, if this is the clubhouse in the tree, right? Then I get you standing up and saying, nah, we're not gonna kick DJ out. Not DJ.
It's our buddy. We
grew up. What the fuck is this? The Little Rascals? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's the Little Rascals. We grew up with him.
We can't kick DJ out the clubhouse.
But remember what he did to Sally Jones in high school?
Bro, this is a professional baseball team. You're here to play baseball professionally. What are we talking about? No, but I like him. Who cares?
You're here to win. You're here to win.
This guy said before in the chat, they'd never be in on Bregman because Bellinger and Aaron don't like him. Who gives a fuck? Like,
I mean, who's running the club? That's my problem. Who's running the team?
They don't. Here's my thing.
Do they like winning?
Do they like winning?
To win?
Thank you.
Do they like winning? Obviously, they don't.
He's a winner.
Listen, I'm not saying go out and get Bregman either. That's not what we're saying.
Either. No, we're not saying that either. I agree.
But if that's what you want to do, then you should be in talks. Because if Bregman ends up doing these short deals, high AAV, opt-outs, whatever the case may be, you might be able to swindle something over, right? So, because you could give him a signing bonus, and then you can pay him 20, 25, whatever the case may be. When you move Stroman, it doesn't end up hurting you in your fantastic payroll that the ceiling that you've put upon yourself as the owner of the best franchise of all of sports. The best motherfucking franchise of any sport in the world is the New York Yankees. And I don't care what anybody says. Okay? We don't say it, Forbes says it. So go fuck yourself if you don't like it. Yeah, we're talking about the other fuckers in the other side of the ocean. Or the Hudson River, where the fuck you guys are.
Johnny Gonzalez says, Pete, we need Carlos Correa. We need someone with balls and call out when the Yankee players do stupid things. We definitely talked about a guy like Carlos Correa. I don't know how possible that is, but I do want to get to this Boone clip also before we get ready to wrap up here, because this is Aaron Boone on WFAN. And before we do that, we got NY Sports as participation trophies. Club, shaking my head, soft. It's something we've talked about a lot, but maybe you'll understand it more when you hear Aaron Boone talk here. Let's take a listen.
What'd you make of the Dodgers talking a lot of smack post-World Series? I know you're a competitive guy. Dodgers had a lot to say about your ball club.
I wouldn't let up. I was kind of hoping you said something, quite frankly.
Didn't like it. They won, so, that they had that right. So, a couple of people saying some things. It's like, did you see what you did this year? Like, it wasn't the Freddie Freemans and Shohei's and Mookie's popping off. It was some others. So, look, they won the World Series. We didn't play our best, and, they're flying high right now. So we'll try and get back to that stage and hopefully punch through.
But they were disrespectful, and you're a competitive guy. Like, that bothered me. I'm not even a Yankee fan. I know it had to really
I'll just say, yeah, it did.
I know there's more in there, Booney. Come on.
Honestly, I don't know how you didn't fire back. And I know it's a waste of time. It only presents more problems for you and things you've got to deal with and that are really unimportant to the bottom line here, that don't impact your bottom line. But yeah, it's one thing to talk smack. Like, it was deeply personal in the baseball sense, because I don't even have the quotes in front of me, but we all know what they were.
Multiple guys.
Like, basically saying you guys are a little sloppy. Sorry, Joe Kelly, some of these guys who haven't done a damn thing in years. Like, a little sloppy, whether it's on the base. Like, to me.
Something down your leg.
Yes. Yeah, but that's, to me, if I'm the manager, that's an indictment, even if it's unfair. I'm taking that so personally, and I know it would be counterproductive to fire back, but you had to want to. Did you almost fire back?
I'm almost firing back right now.
Well, don't stop, man. Let's go.
Screw them. I'm not. They won, and, hopefully.
That's the weak man. Read Aaron. If I'm going to take The Art of War with me, and I'm going to give it to Aaron Boone. Said, you've never read this book. You've never read this book, Aaron. Before you become a leader, read that book. Before you know you got enemies, before you know you got people talking shit about you, before you know all that stuff, learn to deal with it. Read that book and learn to deal with it. That is the weakest way out, to sit there and go, but I can't speak. And even them going, yeah, but it's going to make it a lot worse for you. How? How's it going to make it a lot worse for Boone? For defending his club? That makes him worse? That makes him bad? I would have simply said, look, I don't got to name names here. But, some of these players that talked, maybe they really should have beat us up. I mean, maybe it should have been truly one-sided. I know we lost in 5 games, but there was never a game that I remember that we played that we were out of it. At the end of the day, as the manager, I would sit there and go, I cost us game 1. I affected that outcome.
He said that was one regret.
I do remember him saying that's a regret, so that's a good thing. I affected game 1 that we lost. I think we had that one in the bag. I hurt us there. Then the bad play we shot ourselves in the foot here. We didn't get beat up. We didn't get destroyed. We didn't get obliterated. Did we lose? Yes, we lost. I get it. But that's it. There's a way of communicating here instead of sitting there with your tail between your legs. Like, I don't gotta say nothing.
Or just be like, honestly, like yeah, the one who wins gets to talk whatever they want. But I mean, it's just funny to me that guys who didn't throw a pitch in the World Series have something to say.
But
I would a slight little a little thing, because I'm sorry, I don't care. Joe Kelly has none. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? When's the last time you pitched? And that was my whole thing. Like if you didn't see Mookie, Freddie Freeman was in that podcast of Mookie when I think Max Muncy said something, which he played and had a horrible World Series, by the way. Max Muncy didn't do dick. And again, if you notice, the guys that were all talking are the guys who didn't do shit in the World Series.
Muncy played good defense.
He didn't hit for shit, bro. He destroyed the Mets, and then he got to the World Series and he didn't hit.
Look, here's my thing, though. Like,
Shohei didn't hit.
He said
0 for 13. I didn't even know he didn't hit. He hadn't had one fucking hit.
He said that these guys, the big guys, didn't really say anything, but I disagree, because Mookie made his podcast a platform for his team to take a royal shit all over the Yankees immediately after their victory parade.
Right.
But who was doing the talking is what I'm saying.
Mookie didn't have to say, but he didn't have to say nothing. He brought all of them to his house, put cameras in their face and microphones in their hands, and said, yo, have at it.
Like, that doesn't mean you said it.
And while they said it,
I mean, he also released it.
And while they said it, he was laughing. Bro, I watched, listen, Pete.
If Francis said, hold on. I disagree. If Francis said something wild here, that doesn't mean I said it because I'm on camera next to him.
But did you challenge?
That's what I'm saying.
But did you challenge what I said?
Did we talk about it afterwards? Did we have a one-off?
Call me on it? No. He was sitting there laughing.
Their manager said he didn't want to go back to LA.
No, I agree.
Why did nobody say that?
No, he did.
The manager didn't say it. Listen.
No, he sat on the same couch that everybody saw, and he said, I didn't want to go back to LA.
Yeah, that's what Dave Roberts said. And then Max Muncy and all these other guys proceeded to kick the Yankees back in. Like they didn't care if they had to go back to LA because they knew in their heart of hearts that the Yankees would find a way to fuck it up, and they did.
My issue, Francis, is when you lose, you have nothing to say. I'm sorry. The Yankees can't say, nobody on the Yankees. Boone had an opportunity there to say to me, if you didn't play in the World Series, I don't even want to hear what you have to say. But those who won and played, they have the right to talk. I disagree with it. I understand what you guys are trying to say, but at the same time,
this is disrespect, though. This ain't like
it's not.
This ain't like we beat those dudes. They're the big bad Yankees. They're not the big bad Yankees no more.
Okay, okay. So tell me what you guys wanted him to say, because it's like we lost. We did
let me
lose.
ask you this.
But here's the thing:
when the Yankees when there was all this stuff about the scouting report that came out. Remember when they were basically saying we just got to play Little League baseball against the Yankees? That's how bad they are. What was the Yankees' response, Kevin, about base running? We got the best base running in the minor leagues. Our system has the best base running in the planet.
That's why Jin Segura should be a Yankee. You saw what he did in the last game.
Listen,
that's my problem.
Listen,
that's my problem.
Yo, Francis, I saw him get caught at second. I said, "This guy's a Yankee. This guy's a fucking Yankee."
That's it. That's what we become used to here.
No, listen.
NY Sports 12 says, "What is running down Boone's leg?" Hey, yo, I got no.
No.
I don't know what that was about.
He was talking, no, because they said that the Yankees are going to crap down their leg. Max Muncy said it. Those were his exact words. God. No, it wasn't Muncy. That was
There's no way Muncy said
Taylor.
that when he went 0 for 13.
That was Chris Taylor.
That was Taylor. Taylor said that.
Again, a bunch of bums. Francis, we can talk about it. You're a bum. I don't listen. You're in the world. Listen. You're a major league player, but you didn't do shit. You didn't do dick. I'm sorry. I don't care what you have to say,
bro.
I'm sorry. Like Mookie Betts, I'll go ahead. So whatever you say. Even Max Muncy, because he's a starter, even though he went 0 for 13. But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of whack that you didn't do shit. I'm sorry, Francis. I'm built different. This is what we talk about. We're built different. If I didn't do shit, I'm not out here talking my mouth, talking reckless like that.
But here's the thing I want to add in there, though. As David also says, now this was the time to stick up for the players, not to let it sink. But here's what I want to add in there. When was the last team that did this to another club when they beat them?
Nobody's ever done this to any facet in any sport.
You're okay with being the first?
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
My point. That's my point. You know why? You know why they did this? Because they fucking knew they could. That's why they did it. We can go and shit all over this team, and guess what? They're not gonna do shit because they're bitches. They're soft. They are full of bitch assness. It's not the Bronx. It is bitch assness. That's what they have. Bro, I'm not saying that they're supposed to come back and defend the bullshit that they did.
No.
But you have dignity as a man. You can't sit there and allow them to just talk about you like that. Because I'm not saying, you lost. It's true. When you lose, I disagree with the notion that when you lose, you can't say nothing. I disagree with that. I think that when you lose, you are limited to what you can say because you lost. But that doesn't mean you can't say anything, because there's a real simple response when they sit there and say all that shit. Well, oh, we knew they were going to fuck it up, whatever, like that. I mean, yeah, you can respond like that. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would be talking like that if I won a World Series because the other team beat themselves. I don't know if I would be saying that if that was me or whatever. A comment like that is very powerful because, yes, it acknowledges that you lost, but it also says y'all won because we beat ourselves. So I wouldn't be taking the victory lap that some of y'all are taking when we basically handed you that World Series because we beat ourselves. You didn't beat us. We beat us.
Chris
Simple
Taylor
as
had
that.
a 73
And they can say
OPS plus.
The rebuttal could be like, okay, but we still won. And I'd be like, yeah, you did win because we beat ourselves.
And what's so horrible about that is that all you're simply doing is acknowledging. All you have to really do is fully acknowledge what your team did. And I know he kind of said, we kind of beat ourselves there. Yeah, but why did it also take you so long to say this? After the post game, the man talked about togetherness in the clubhouse. They lost, and he's saying togetherness. I lost, and we were all sitting there going, you know what sucks more about losing this? Is they gave it away. We can't even sit here and be like, damn, we gave it our all. We didn't. We gave it to them. We gave it to them on a silver platter. None of the Yankees wanted to admit this. None of them. Aaron Judge never spoke about what happened. They went fucking hiding.
He wouldn't. Why would
Garrett Cole, nobody spoke about any of this. It's like they all went into hiding.
But that's
It's not hard to say it was us. Yeah, the Dodgers, whatever. You don't got to talk about it. It was us. Yes. We blew it. We did that. It was our fault. We dropped the ball. Literally. We gave it up. We gave it up.
Bro, that's the thing. It's like, this is the MO of this
fucking
team.
hear the end of this fucking drop ball shit.
That's what pisses. We're never gonna see the end of it until he reverses it and does something crazy. We won't see the end of it.
Yep,
but that's the thing.
right.
My issue is that's the MO of the Yankees. It's been the MO of the Yankees. The Dodgers just put a voice to it, but everything that they said has been being said about this team for years, bro. Nobody's afraid. Nobody is afraid of the Yankees. Nobody's afraid to play against the Yankees in the postseason, whatever, because this has been the feeling under Boone's tenure the entire time, bro. They're not fundamentally sound. Like, they don't play great defense. They don't run the base as well. They're going to beat themselves.
But were you afraid of the Dodgers?
I wasn't. No, I'm not afraid of the Dodgers.
Never.
That's what I'm saying. There's no real team. Like, honestly, out of all the teams that made the playoffs, I was most afraid of the Padres.
I wasn't afraid.
That's what I thought the World Series was going to be. Yankees Padres.
But here's my thing. It's not about necessarily am I afraid of it, whatever. But it's like, I wasn't afraid of the Dodgers, but I respected the Dodgers. I wasn't afraid of Cleveland in the slightest, but I respected Cleveland. I knew the arms that they could put on the mound against us. I knew the matchups that they could put late in games.
People don't understand that, though.
I wasn't afraid of Kansas City. I wasn't afraid of Kansas City.
But they matched up well with us because they got like 17 lefties.
Yeah, but I respected Kansas City because I said, yo, they can make things spooky. The games aren't going to be easy, and the whole series was close.
Listen,
that's right.
It's about respecting. What I'm saying is, it's not about being afraid of the Yankees. That's the point that I wanted to make. It's not about being afraid. Teams do not respect the Yankees.
There you go. That's I can say that.
And when you talk that way, there's a reason you get to talk that way. Because you want to know why? I'm going to break some news to everybody. Everybody feels that way about them.
Yes.
How many times over the last couple of years are we saying this team gets nothing? Everybody fucking shits on them. Who was the dude on the Rays that one time after the game that was like laughing at the end? Yeah, nothing. I mean, nobody fears them.
We signed him.
We
signed him.
He's a pitcher with us
that
now.
shit.
Wasn't it Lau?
Phillips.
Yeah, and Lau said
Lau when
recently,
we were in 2020. This was 2023 when we were making the playoffs.
It's every year. It's every single year.
But and you know what's funny? Boone went from being one of the managers that used to get thrown out the most. Last year he didn't. How many times did he get thrown out? Twice.
Yeah.
And it's
I think they wanted him to work on that though. They made it a point.
Oh my god.
No, they did. They made it a point. It was said early in the year that he's been told that they kind of want him to be there managing the game, not to be getting.
I don't understand, and it's starting. I don't know if it's going to continue, but I'll go ahead and say that what they're doing, like the Japanese group, like the players, the buddiness, going everybody to the Dodgers. We don't even know. The Yankees might be holding out for Murakami. He might go to fucking the Dodgers next year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is why I'm saying, what are you going to do with their base? Because no matter what, George Lombard, Roger Arias, they're years away. You don't want to. Peraza's out of options. This is Peraza's last shot. What you going to do with their base? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, make up your mind. You can't go all in. Worst case scenario, Murakami could play first and plays the corners as well. I think they're talking about making him a first baseman anyway in the major leagues, because I don't know if his defense is the best. I don't know much about him at third.
Murakami's defense isn't great.
There you go. So it's like, worst case scenario, you're set with their base, and then you can go after Murakami next year if you make a decision on Bregman or if Nolan, whatever the case may be. But don't sell this fan base on DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo and Peraza. And back to your point about not being afraid of the Yankees, this is my whole point about having a team with chemistry and with identity. Yes, when Soto came up, people were scared.
Yep, of course. And Soto Judge back-to-back, forget about it.
People were scared of Soto, but they were not scared. They didn't respect. What I'm saying is, when I bring up the respect thing, it's like, you could go back. You could look at, the Red Sox, those rivalries when it really was a rivalry back in the day. And yeah, there was battles, there was fights, there was whatever. People talk shit or whatever, but they respected the team. David Ortiz respects Derek Jeter. You understand?
Yep.
He competed against him. He wanted to beat him. He wanted to beat Mariano Rivera. But there was a respect, and it went both ways. The Yankees respected David Ortiz. Look, Manny Ramirez was Manny Ramirez, man. He had a lot of shit. People said a lot of shit around him around the league. The Yankees knew to respect that man though, because he was a certified Yankee killer. The Yankees used to be a team that was respected. In today, we got to be honest, bro. We Yankees.
Nah, they were feared. When the Yankees were the Yankees, they were fucking feared. That dynasty Yankees all the way to like 03, those teams were feared. Like it's documented by other players. Like they just came in here, took care of business, they didn't give a shit.
Beat the shit out of us, yeah.
Up and down to the lineup. They managed themselves the way they were.
In 97 when they lost, 98 they were literally saying we're gonna win the World Series. Like we're gonna win every single game. That was the mindset. And then when you take that approach nowadays, but that's not realistic. It's a mindset. It's like being a fighter and go, eventually, I mean, somebody's probably going to get me, right? You want to go into a fight with that mindset? You want to go in there at the fight going, I'm going to lose someday.
It's the thing. You could say it's not, people say it's not realistic.
That's all.
It's not realistic, but what do you think the Dodgers are telling themselves right now? If you think that right now, the Dodgers are telling themselves, we're going back to back.
Oh, and after what they've done? Come on, man.
You can't sit there and say that. Like, and that's my thing is like, you went from being feared to being completely and utterly disrespected. You have teams dance on your grave routinely. I mean, we went through a phase there where, like, in a 4-year span, the Rays, the Red Sox, and the Astros danced on our field in front of us, and we had to watch it. And they just, it doesn't matter to them. It's a tough loss, yeah, whatever. You know, we'll try to come back.
That's my biggest issue, Francis. Like the cohesiveness throughout the organization of being, I don't know, fucking weak. You can say being okay with getting run over. It's like, why do we have to wait? Like we talked about that Dodger series at that point. Where's the balls of the team? Like Soto was out, he wasn't playing. Where was everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I'm upset that Hal came out and said that. You didn't need to say that. Oh, what do you think? Well, the Dodgers are doing what they're doing, but we're the New York Yankees. We've been here a lot longer than they were. When they were back in Brooklyn, we were still the New York Yankees. This organization's been here for years. Or whatever the case you want to. Don't give them any props. You're still spending $300 million, Hal, or $310, whatever the fuck you're gonna do with whenever you wake up. Because one day you wake up like you want to spend, and the other day you don't. So I don't know what's going through that head. All I'm saying is stop with this shit, man. Put your foot down. That's it. Yep. And make up your mind. If you're gonna tell me that Aaron Boone is gonna get an extension, and that's how you want your club to be ran for the next fucking 5 years, I don't know what to tell you anymore, man, because it's not working. If Joe Girardi was too stern and this guy's too soft, you got to find a guy in the middle. You can't have a complete opposite. It just doesn't make sense. It don't fucking match.
Liking somebody doesn't mean dick. But I'm sorry to tell you. Because I know that's all we hear. We hear that from everybody we talk to, including players have told us this, that Aaron Boone is a great guy and they love playing for him. Who gives a shit? If you got a player on that team that would say, I'd rather him be the manager and try to win with him or have a dick on the team and win the World Series, if any of those guys say I'd rather play with him, honestly, you should trade them. You should dump them off your club immediately because they're not winners as it is.
There was a bunch of wild cards in all these Yankee teams. Pete, you could go down the list. Darryl Strawberry, fucking Chad Curtis. Then you fucking had fucking Roger Clemens was the Rocket, and he will fucking beam somebody in the head if that's me. CeCe Sabathia. These guys don't have that. Listen, Garrett Cole giving up 4 fucking fingers while we were in the stands was it was the worst thing I've seen in my life. I'm never for
against the Red Sox.
How about the July 4th stand down?
I'm gonna give you.
I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm going to give you some, and maybe Francis knows what I'm talking about. Irvin Santana. You guys know that name. Yeah. He said, Derek Jeter had my number for years. Every time I would go up against Derek Jeter, he would go 3 for 3, 2 for 3. First pitch double off the wall. I don't know what happened. And then I forgot what pitcher told him, said, put it between his numbers. I'm not advocating for Garrett Cole to hit Rafi Devers. But give him a bow tie, because that's baseball. Get the fuck off my plate. I control the situation. I don't care if you owe me right now. Every at-bat is different. Yep. I don't want to see you give up 4 fingers. You're the fucking ace of the squad. So, again, it rubs off, and that's maybe the only thing I got bad about Garrett Cole, because I think Garrett Cole throughout the postseason had a phenomenal postseason, and I wish he covered first, because that would have been one of the best fucking pitching outings we've ever seen a pitcher take. Besides the point, he still went out and got another 2 innings of scoreless baseball. So I fucking despise that we lost that game for him, that the Yankees couldn't, because at the end of the day, it was a team loss. Because as much as we want to blame Cole, we still had 2 more opportunities after that with Anthony Volpe and Garrett Cole to get out of that inning cleanly. So it's not all on Judge. They lost that as a fucking team. So wake the fuck up. You are the New York motherfucking Yankees. You play in the Bronx. You don't fucking play in fucking Cedric or Greenwich, wherever the fuck, or Long Island, wherever the fuck. I don't know. I don't care. You play in the Bronx, in the concrete jungle. Act like it, man.
That's right. That's all we're asking.
It's the concrete.
Act like it.
It's the concrete petting zoo now, man. It's the concrete petting zoo now.
Damn.
That's what it is.
Damn.
It's not. There's nothing jungle. There's nothing jungle about this team. I'm sorry, like people. That's why I gave the disclaimer earlier, because I knew eventually I'd get to this point. But it's like, bro, this is who they are. Like when you sit there and say, yeah, with Boone, we're definitely gonna have those conversations about an extension. Whatever. It's like, yeah, all right, man. I listen. I see where this is going. Like I see what this is now. Okay, it doesn't. It's not like what we want and what Hal Steinbrenner wants are 2 completely different things.
Facts.
And it's what it is at this point.
Yep.
Hal Steinbrenner wants to run a profitable business. Aaron Boone has allowed him to do that without making too many waves. Brian Cashman has spent a lot of his money, some could say very poorly at times, but he still turns that profit. And can you make the argument that they have a chance every year to say that they're a possible World Series contender? Could somebody argue it somewhere on the face of the earth? Yeah, that's all he wants. We want the Yankees of old. We want the Yankees that were gunning for the World Series trophy every single season, playing for it in freaking April. That's what we want.
Yep.
But that's not them. That's
sometimes you just got to come to accept it.
That's
and
not
understand
them
that. Hey, this is it.
It's not them anymore.
Don't play DMX. Don't play Welcome to the Jungle, and then you fucking go out there and look like fucking you're playing fucking YMCA, bro.
Don't play Mobb Deep at the beginning of a show. Don't try to be New York where you don't market to New York really in general. Let's be honest.
Think about it. Think about how
this is
how
the
it
Yankees.
Looks. Think about how it looks. You got Mobb Deep playing, and
play
then
banjo music. Play banjos.
And then you got DJ LeMahieu. You got Mobb Deep playing, and
have
DJ
Percy Jackson, bro,
running out to play third base.
Play banjos.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what about my Lincoln and New York Yankees gonna get some cupcakes. Give out free fucking gums.
That's my thing. Is that if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna play like that, if you're gonna run the team like they're gonna, move to Indiana, be the Indiana Yankees for all I care. That ain't New York, gang. I'm sorry, that's not New York. That's not BX. That's not. It's just not.
It's just wake the fuck
It's
up,
not.
bro.
Like
Smell
I
the
look
fucking,
at
fucking
people
piss
like
on the floor, not the flowers.
I look at the team across town. They look like queens to me. They look like queens to me.
Oh
They
shit, we're gonna hear about it now.
They embody queens to me.
Queens baseball. Queens baseball.
No, but to me, like that's Queens. That's Queens. They got that's Queens. They got it. They got the team embodies the borough. It embodies the city. They got all types of different cultures and stuff like that or whatever. Like it is what it is. Now you can make your argument.
You can fix it. They can fix your tires while you're watching the game. You got all that going on.
You can make the argument of whether you think the team is good or that. I'm just talking about like when I look at that and then
They got vibes. They got their identity.
Yeah, they have an identity. I look at the Yankees right now as currently, it's like it looks a little disjointed, to be honest. I mean, like I'm looking at this current team, right? I look at this current team. Like just look at the way it is right now on paper, 1 through 9. Like who is Jazz hanging out with after the game? Who does Jazz Chisholm hang out with after the game?
What you mean?
Answer who is Jazz Chisholm hanging out with after the game?
Luke Weaver.
Okay.
I love Luke Weaver.
I love Luke Weaver too. I really do. I've been learning a lot more about him and his story this offseason. God-fearing man. Like he's like really big about his faith, and I love that. I really do. I don't see him and Jazz chilling after the game, but
maybe it could be Volpe. Yeah, it could be Volpe. He's a big Volpe guy, Jazz. He likes Volpe a lot. I don't know if they hang out like that, but
Volpe's one of those dudes that he seems quiet or whatever, but he got a little bit of swag to him. Probably
he does.
What I'm saying is, it just seems disjointed. You got Jazz and his flavor and the swag over here. Stroman, if Stroman's still on the team, you could probably see that. A little bit of a character, but he's there. And then you got like the Wall Street Yankees. You got, what I'm saying? You got, Cole and Fried and Judge and G
and Francis
Goldschmidt. It's like
if you're gonna be the Wall Street Yankees, take care of fucking business.
That's it. Then be the best version
exactly.
of the Wall Street
Take care of
Yankees.
fucking business.
Like
if that's what you're gonna be, no emotion, fucking tidied up, fucking no beard, no hair. Take care of business, because when you took care of business, people were like, all right, we can't, I don't care what we do. That's why Boston had to take the complete different identity of fucking being goose loosened and fucking beards and long hair and drinking before games. They had to take the complete opposite of the Yankees.
They were the blue collar, the Yankees were white collar.
Yep. But now you guys want to emulate that, but then you okay with just getting there, then it's a crap. You can't have it both ways, fam. You play in the Bronx. That's all we're saying. You got to own up to it and play up to it, man. That's all we're asking for. This fan base has been here before, and they're going to be here after you.
100%. DJ Steals with the super chat. He goes, the owner has changed, the game has changed, the fan base has changed, but guess what hasn't? The name of the team. It isn't the Montreal Yankees. It's the New York motherfucking Yankees. The name should have aura. And right now they're kind of being they're being left.
I might as well enjoy them big can.
I mean, you got to enjoy something. Maybe they should have a big can camera this year, and you get some big cans on camera to get fans to show up. They got to do something.
Let Joy Taylor throw out the first pitch on opening.
Oh hell no!
Let Joy throw out the first pitch.
Stop it, bro.
That peanut butter skin.
I'd rather Jason Whitlock throw out the first pitch. Myself, to be honest, for having the comment of the year, but
Jason Whitlock would be out of breath walking from the dugout to the first foul line. He gonna be huffing and puffing. Listen,
I love that man.
I love him too. He's a national treasure, but I don't think
he ain't throwing out no first pitch.
To throw out the first pitch, even though Steve did it, and that wasn't a good first pitch at all.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of talking today.
A lot of ranting.
A lot of ranting, man. At the end of the day, I just want to before we wrap up, I just want to throw
that
disclaimer out there. Oh, yeah, hit the like button too, but I want to throw that disclaimer out there real quick and just say, we're not saying the Yankees have had a bad offseason. We're not shitting on the Yankees. We're not doing none of that.
It's too late for that.
Simply saying, yeah. Well, no, we really haven't. We're talking about the comments that were made today and how it could affect this team and how that shit needs to stop. Because like Francis said, it's the concrete petting zoo out here.
Yeah.
We need to be the Bronx Zoo again. The nastiness needs to come out this team, not this bullshit that we're dealing with. So
but
that's it for me, man. I'm done.
Yeah, man. Thanks. You shout out to the chat. We still got 380 strong in here. So smack that like, hit that sub. Remember for the 29th for your tickets to the NYYU event. Never forget. We will all be there, and all this energy will be there live. If the Yankees don't want to act like the Bronx, we will. We're there always to support, and that's always saying, man, this is why the U continues to grow and continues to be the spot where you guys come over here, because we just say we tell it like it is. We listen to you guys. We listen. We embody what the New York Yankees have been for years. And we just missed some of that energy and some of that fire that we got some of it last year, and it went away. And now we're looking like, okay, we're okay to being. We don't want to revert back to that. And don't tell us that the fans are wrong, because that's what New York fans are. That's what Philly fans are. Boston is in that group as well. They're very passionate fan bases who will call the bullshit when they see it. And I am sorry. You're not going to sell that to this fan base, and you never will. This is why you have to end up trying to have a cohesive agenda to push out and make us look like we're the bad ones for expecting more. When we go to the ballpark and you charge me $20 and you flip that fucking iPad to give a tip as well, you don't see me fucking complaining, right? So I pay my $20 for my fucking beers, all right? So I expect the team to play better, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Damn. A. Becker adds in, that's what's taking so long to trade Stroman. We don't know, man.
Your mother was a dumb whore with a fat ass. Did you know that?
Yo, Francis, take us away, man.
He's getting another tattoo. That's what's taking so long. He's gotta wait till his tattoos are done. Stro, he's my guy, man. I love him. I don't think he's gonna be on the team. Yo, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Literally, man, 2 months away from NYYU Day on opening weekend. It's gonna be
29th is today. Look at that.
29th is today.
Call out.
2 months.
1 hour away from MVP Appreciation Day. So remember to keep
It's been Appreciation Week over here.
It should be though. I mean, it's the MVP. Remember to keep Jira, in your thoughts, man. Send the blessings her way. We couldn't do what we do without the MVP, who's always there, doing, amazing work for us, man. Propping us up, making us look good. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't look as good as we do without her. So shouts out to her. And yeah, man, I can't wait, man. I'm gonna see my family real soon. So it's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I reserve the right to change my tune in 2 weeks if the Yankees go and make a trade to sign somebody that
They're right.
And I don't care what anybody says.
I'm talking about that dumbass comments today. We're saying they gotta go sign somebody.
Today. So people will clip it and will talk shit on Twitter.
I don't care.
You guys who watch the whole thing and watch us and know us what we're about. It's people take shit out of context all the time. Go find them.
They're gonna come back. Oh, Francis, but you said what murder?
What murder? He was a great guy.
And I'll leave everybody with this. I never want to hear Uncle Paulie talk to you this way, but
you're weak, you're out of control, and you become an embarrassment to yourself and everybody else.
Capiche?
You see, you should have played that after the Hal comments.
Peace
Thank
out,
you for
everybody.
the Bronx or nothing.
Have a great rest of your night. See you guys soon.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. But a new crib, it's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but